So obviously, mental health is something you plan to drive forward. How, as an MEP, do you propose going forward to advance awareness and support for mental health in the
See, this is where you make me nervous, right? Because I know you from election, and you hold me accountable to a lot of great things. Yeah, no, I kid. For me, how do we raise visibility? How do we get much needed funding? But also, how do we change policy and legislation? Because I don't know if money always changes things. I think that it has to go hand in hand with the conversation, and I always look to the more expert than saying, am I saying this right? But I'm driving, and by the end of the 5 years, I'd be very disappointed in myself if I don't deliver a European year for good mental health. That would allow not only Ireland just to drive that message, but it also would give funding, policy and legislation change down to very grassroots levels. So very very community-based organizations that are trying to make sure their community and their young people feel safe within the community themselves. I'm also, that kind of comes two or threefold, because I need other European Union member states to realize that mental health is a competency, and together we need to drive that message forward, so that it's not just looking at large organizations that Ireland have, like Pieta House or Jigsaw or Mindspace or any of our bigger identities, but not just here in Ireland, but right throughout the European Union. And how do we learn from each other? No doubt in making the videos that you did, you were learning from other countries, and other conversations allow us to learn what worked and what didn't work. And that's also the case for community stuff, political stuff, not only here in Ireland, but also across the European Union. So European Year of Good Mental Health would be one thing. Trying to get, I've been asking for the Commissioner Designate for Health, we're really fortunate, is a child psychologist by trade. So she's looking and really focusing her mandate for mental health space. So trying to get her into places like here, where she's seeing very much on the ground, lofty ideas can't just grow and then just stay within the European Union or the Commission or the Parliament. We need to get them down to the citizens that are electing people, but also citizens that are driving forward. I was speaking to Commissioner Hogan just last weekend to say, trade, we were chit-chatting about mental health, and I said, you can have the best trade deal, you can have the best economy, the euro could be going through the roof, Brexit might not even be happening, but if we do not have citizens that feel protected in a mental health state, then communities disappear, trade deals are non-existent because economies don't grow. So if we're not looking after the mental health of our citizens, then everything else really doesn't matter, I believe.
Yeah. As you mentioned about other member states, as an MEP, have you seen similarities or differences between, say, the way Ireland looks at mental health and supports mental health and other member states, or any sort of things you've noticed with other European Union states?
Yeah, just, yesterday I was really fortunate. It was my first few words in the hemicycle, and imposter syndrome was well and truly alive in that moment. But the day prior, it had to come through group. I sit within the European People's Party, which is the largest group. They've lost some seats in this current campaign, so we're not as large as they used to be, but we're still the biggest political group. But what does that actually mean? So a lot of big member states like Germany and France sits within the EPP, and it disappoints me in one sense, because I don't know if larger member states really understand the impact mental health has. So, yesterday I had a big debate with a German colleague and a Swedish colleague, and their belief is, well, that's on a member state to do. That's a national issue around mental health. And my argument is, and this is where I'm learning to try and be a better politician, it's like, well, let's really look at like why you say that. So we talk about health, we talk about trade, we talk economics. So some people get it and some people don't. But that's my job to continue to talk about it. So yesterday, given it was World Mental Health Day, given the fact that it was my first speech, I was really, I really wanted it to be about mental health. So I went in, my first line was about a report that I was, that the whole Parliament was voting on. But within that report was mental health. And there I took the stage to say, you know, we all have it, and if we're not minding it, then nothing changes. And afterwards, I had a couple of larger member states come to me and thank them, and they went off to do their own research. But I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of hand-holding. I hope I'm answering your question here, Dean. You don't seem, you're nodding your head, but I feel like the follow-up question is going to be a lot harder than that one. But I think I have to do a little bit more work on bringing the message of what their mental health looks like at national level in their own communities. And just maybe hand-holding a little bit, just so things are moving and shaking. And but you know, if we're not adding any bit of visibility on it, then nothing's moving.
Lastly, now, because we've kind of gone a bit over time here.
I'm like, oh, sorry, and I'm a queen. I'm a true politician. I never you give me the microphone and I can't go off it. Yeah.
Is there a sort of is there a bit of a culture within the European Union of mental health? You said to do with the individual states themselves, and is there something there that has to be done?
Oh, of course. You know, there's a taboo and a stigma attached to mental health right throughout the world. I believe, and we're now so fortunate that younger people like yourselves are coming to the forefront to say, not anymore. You know, be it with it growing up in an environment where a parent suffers from some sort of negative mental health, or a young person themselves, or they're in a school environment and they're struggling to overcome, you know, that transition period, because we all go through them. It's just how do we talk about them? But there has to be bigger visibility, but we need everybody on board to get there. And bit by bit we will. You know, my greatest fear is that over the next 5 years of my mandate, will I have achieved enough in order to impact as much as I can? But that's, again, the expectation. That's not something I can just sit on my shoulders, and I have to realise that it also is that I build a tribe around to make sure we're just constantly working on it and driving it forward. But where there's a will, there's a way. I think where younger people like yourself are making sure we're all paying attention and we're all understanding that. If you asked me 6 months ago or even last week, would I have even thought well-being in the home was something we had to talk about? No, but you've driven that message. So now I have the fortunate opportunity to go out now and say, well, yesterday I was here and I learned more about mental health in the space of the hour than I would have ever learning from a book. And then I can go on. So it's the deliverance of that human story, and I think that's so impactful. We can look at numbers and, you know, stats and all those great things which we need to back up our argument, but we also have to look at the emotive side and the fact that our younger people need to be protected now, and not just environment, not just on the political scan, but making sure that they feel when they step before the table, dear Mr. Kenny, future Taoiseach, that you are sitting in whatever dream that you want to be at, whatever position you want to finish at and start at, and everything in between, that you are your best version of yourself because your mental health is protected. And that's where we need to get people to.
And for that first panel, thanks very much, Stuart. Well, we're going to if there's any questions for the audience, we're going to open up the floor now, just for our two panelists. We kind of probably went over time a bit there, but is there anything anyone wants to ask, either Sharon or Maria? Now's your time. Chloe?
Hi Maria, are there any funds available from the EU to support mental health projects for young people in Ireland and further afield?
Yes, not specifically, but that's what I'm trying to change. So as I said, our Commissioner Designate for Health, as she sets out her stall, even our Commissioner Designate for Jobs, and looking at the way we're dealing with well-being in the workplace, there will be funding coming down through that. And I know I have a couple of Jarlath's Mind actually cancer. Anybody in the audience that might know specific ones, please, this is a sharing exercise, I hope so. I'm all ears. But from what I found, no, not yet. But that's why we need to change.
Yep. Yeah, I have a question for Dr. Byrne. If you were to reflect on the young people that use your service in Cairns, would you have any sense of their lived experience of parents with mental health difficulties?
thank you for making half of yesterday's work worthwhile, because I did a recent audit of our files and cams just to have fairly live stats for today. So of the clients that we have, and stats are important in relation to, I suppose, I agree, they're not everything, but they are important in relation to highlighting just how prevalent this is. Internationally, it's typically 1 in 3 children who are within services have experienced parental mental health distress within their home. Our stats are, of our client load at the moment, 49%, so that's nearly 1 in 2 of our clients have parents with mental health difficulty, which is high. Also, I broke it down in relation to the gender of the parent. So nearly 64% have a mum that experiences distress due to mental health. Over 20% have dads, and unfortunately 15% have both parents that are affected by mental health distress. So they're live, fresh off the audit yesterday. In that South Mayo, there are stats within our service at the moment. So yes, it would be very prevalent, and I see the impact of that on a day-to-day basis. I can see from literally this age of a child in infancy the impact of postnatal depression, where the baby, in sharing the emotional and energy space with the parent, gets similarly lost. And we sometimes forget that an infant shares the neurophysiology of the parent for the first few months of their life. So chemically, where mum is, baby is. So this is where early intervention, care in postnatal clinics, emotional care within postnatal clinics will be so preventative. But unfortunately, we have our own experience of applying for a project that's quite early intervention and preventative. But unfortunately, a lot of the funding, and this is where I think you might be of real help to this issue, Maria, is most of the funding is for preventative, for reactionary projects. And I think Ireland has a responsibility to look at our role in early intervention, which means that we get in prior to the birth of the baby. And that is crucial. And it will, in time, reduce the burden on services. But unfortunately, funding is put into services which are reacting and responding rather than proactively intervening early and detecting where the vulnerability is and increasing the resilience. My role as a psychologist is not to provide anything to my clients. My role is to guide them and fold them back into what they already have, but the distress has taken them away from. And I think that as a system, that is our role. And I think Ireland, unfortunately, is too led by reactive interventions and is not in early intervention enough. And I think that's where we need to be looking at the funding.
Thank you very much. I just want to say very quickly, well done to everybody involved in the project. I think that's happened in Father will be doing. Just, I suppose, as Leo 50 coordinator, I agree with what Sharon was in there around the early intervention. But that's certainly something that I'm interested in and that we need to certainly focus on, is that early intervention. Dr. Jan Gardner here, I'm sure will be on parental mental health and the impact of that online. So my question really is, and I'm interested in the interagency stuff and in the community stuff. So, where should we be going with this? If we believe in early intervention, if we believe in the preventative approach, I would feel that, a community-based response, and agencies working together, picking up on what Maria was saying earlier on around, the European Union view that maybe it's mental health is the competence of different member states. Like, to my mind, listening to everybody here, it's everybody's business and nobody's sole responsibility. And that's perhaps a big shift that has to happen. So just thinking about that and thinking about how community-based sponsors and community-based agencies, the voluntary sector, but they really need to be led clinically by the expert thinking and to make sure. So, with the HSE and the CAM services giving a direction and, validating programs of intervention, but the response will continue to be. So what could we be looking at, or what types of models that should be explored?
I think you make a very valid point, Jarlath. I suppose just to, and this isn't just coming, it's coming from my own examples. The two examples of projects that I've either participated in or today that I've led is that it's interagency, that it is about identifying what the client need is. And we call them clients, but they're little people, they're human beings. And it's about identifying the vulnerabilities. And at an interagency level, it is about coming together and collaborating. And I think that the two projects to which I refer today are an example of how we can break down this, I suppose, singularity in our approach, particularly within services, and how we need to open it up to more collaborative interagency approach. Because what I have in CAMS is a particular slant and a particular expertise only to that slant. But then I work with other agencies who have a different slant and their expertise in that slant. And obviously the advantages of both of the projects to which I referred today is that they are service user led. The first project was led as it emerged out of the focus groups with affected parents. This has been led by the youth group themselves. So we're at nothing if we do interventions to people. We need to create interventions with people. And I think that's our first port of call.
So unless there's any other questions there, we'll move on.
Good.
So thanks very much to you, Sue.
Yeah.
Wait there.
Yeah. So thanks to Maria and Sharon for the information and discussion. Now before we show our next video, which is titled Self-Care, we'd like to introduce our two other guests, who are Niamh Lusson, who is a member of the working group and who's also in some of the videos, and also Christine Mulligan, who has lived experience of living with a parent with mental health difficulties. Christine will also be able to speak to an intervention available for families affected by parental mental health distress. We look forward to hearing from them. Now for our next video, it's entitled Self-Care.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Joe. If someone in your family has a mental health difficulty, maybe it's a parent, then you may experience a whole lot of different feelings about it.
And these feelings can range from good everyday feelings that you have just hanging out or having fun with that person, through to times when you might be feeling worried about them or yourself, or confused, or even a bit frightened about what's going on.
So it's really important that you make sure you look after yourself.
And to get you started on that, here are some tips and some things to think about. Taking care of you. Important things you should know.
So here's a quick list of things you should know.
It's not your fault. You didn't cause it.
It's not your job to make it better either.
And you are not alone with this. There are many young people who have a parent that struggles with their mental health.
It's okay to have feelings about what's going on. Try to talk with an adult or someone that you trust. Do things that you enjoy. Try to balance helping out your family with other things in your life, especially things that are important to you and that you enjoy.
So let's go into a bit more detail on these, starting with, it's not your fault. Someone may have said something, or you might believe things that make you think that what's going on with your parent is your fault, but that's not the case.
You can't cause someone to have mental health problems. Mental health difficulties change how the brain works, its chemical balances, and sometimes its structure. This leads to changes in the way people with these difficulties think, feel, and behave.
Just like the body can become unwell, so too can the mind. The good news is that you can't catch a mental health problem like you can catch, say, a cold.
Okay, next on the list is, it's not your job to make it better.
People with mental health difficulties have lots of things they can choose to do to work towards getting better. So you can't make your parent better by doing stuff or by changing who you are. That doesn't mean that you can't help out, but we'll talk about that a bit more later.
Next thing to remember, you are not alone.
So there are other kids just like you, maybe even in your class or peer group, who have a parent with mental health issues.
They might want to keep that private and not talk about it, but there will be others around you who have a parent with mental health difficulties. They may find it hard to talk about, or they may be managing okay, with support from people that they do talk to.
Next, it's okay to have feelings about what's going on.
You might feel confused, worried, or angry, or sad, or embarrassed at times. They're your feelings, and you're not being disloyal or selfish by having them. You're entitled to feel whatever way you feel about it. It's your unique experience, and it's important.
Which leads into the next point. Try to talk with an adult you trust, especially about what's going on for you. That could be a parent, a family friend, or school counsellor or teacher.
Don't bottle it up. Find somewhere safe to get it out, so that the hard feelings don't build up. And if you can't think of someone, then the Childline Helpline is a good place to start.
They have people specially trained to talk about what's going on and how you feel about it, and it's a confidential service. It doesn't have to be a crisis to call them. Their number is on screen.
Sometimes, it might feel like it's all just too much. That's the time when it's really important to talk to someone about what's going on for you.
You might also be thinking that you want to talk to your parent with the mental health difficulty about what's happening. You don't have to, of course, but if you did, a good way to start is to find a time when it feels okay to say something like, "I've noticed that you seem to be really sad lately and I'm worried. Can we talk about what's going on?"
Sad may not be the right word. Choose a word or description that fits. You might say angry, anxious, worried, crying a lot, staying in bed a lot. Describe whatever you notice.
Another important tip is to create time that's just for you, so you can do things that you enjoy. It's important to have fun and not feel guilty about it.
Last point. It's okay to help out around the house. Helping out is what we do in families. But make sure you balance it with other things that are important in your life, like seeing friends, hobbies, schoolwork, and having fun. If these things are getting hard for you to do, or you feel overwhelmed when you try to do them, then reach out and talk to someone.
You might hear other people say things about mental health that are just hurtful or just plain wrong. Sometimes people don't understand what they haven't experienced.
So even though a lot of families have someone with a mental health difficulty, it's something that doesn't get talked much about. So some people might not understand what you're going through.
And if you are being teased or bullied because your parent has a mental health difficulty, then talk to a teacher or a school counsellor.
There's a lot of other information that you might find helpful on yourmentalhealth.ie, and there are other videos on this website that explain a little about parental mental health and recovery that you might want to watch.
So take care of yourself.